Looking for a job isn't easy. It used to be that you could apply at a big name tech company and build a great career for yourself. But times have changed. Many of these companies have gone full woke. And if you aren't the right gender, ethnicity, you don't use pronouns, or if you're not an activist for the preferred cause, then good luck. Why would you risk your career on that? At Red Balloon, we're connecting good employees with top quality companies that value you for your skills and your work ethic, not your social activism score. Employers who post jobs on Red Balloon are focused on creating an enjoyable and productive work culture, free from divisive woke mandates. So if you want to find a serious career path without the nonsense, come to Red Balloon and post your resume today. Because you shouldn't have to choose between your job and your values. That's redballoon.work, where you can find your future.
It's Tuesday. Welcome to Cross Politic on the Fight Laugh Feast Network. Pastor Toby Chalk Knox. I'm the water boy. Vote for Trump? Vote for DeSantis? I think this Vivek guy reincarnated from somewhere. Not sure. Not sure. Don't know. He is Hindu. He is Hindu.
Gabe, you know what? You all right, my guy. You all right. You know, you started out the week strong.
He came from somewhere. Hey, it's Grace Agenda Week. We're excited about all the guests that are coming in from out of town. We're actually doing a live show this Thursday night at the New Art. Something to do with politics, Hollywood, and the Jews. You know, basically, don't get black-pilled.
I thought the second was actually the real title. The first
Toby liked the first title.
No, politics, Hollywood, and the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
How to not get black-pilled.
There you go. Boom.
Right.
We called that the subtitle.
I missed this meeting.
Finally, my brother's coming on the show. He's going to be, Nate Wilson and my brother are going to be coming on the show Thursday night at the New York, followed by a Brian, I'm sorry, man, this is what your last name should be, Suave concert. Brian Suve Suave concert.
I hear he's doing this
It's at the New Art.
catechism,
It's at the New Art, so you can just Google the New Art in town. We'll see you guys there 7 o'clock.
Main Street. Rowdy Christian merch is going to be at, where is it going to be? I don't know.
Here.
It's going to be here. It's going to be a Grace Agenda. If you're a fan of Cross Politic or the Fight Laugh Feast Network, then surely you know we have a merch store, right? Rowdy Christian merch is your one-stop shop for everything cross politic merchandise. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, hats. We've also got specialty items like backpacks, mugs, coffee, even AirPod cases.
I love mine.
If you're into that sort of thing. Visit Rowdy Christian merch at rowdychristian.com. Buy the next gift, a little something for yourself. Or that special someone. That's rowdychristian.com. And again, we'll be boothing this week at Grace Agenda. Make sure to stop by the booth. Say hi to our boy, Josh.
Yes.
Also, Trinity Reformed Church is a mission church of CREC's own Reformation Covenant Church in Oregon City, Oregon. And they are starting a new church, brand new
Plant.
church
Another plant,
right,
yeah.
in Beaverton. Right outside of Portland. They adhere to the ancient creeds, the confessions of the church, particularly Westminster. They sing songs and hearty hymns and joyfully celebrate communion every week. Their very first worship service will be held August 20th at 10:30 a.m. They are located in Beaverton, Oregon. Check them out at trcnw.org. Also, man, you just got ad after ad.
No, this is us. I already said that.
No, this is an after party Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
at Gabe's house.
I forgot. On Friday night.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm doing an after party at my house on Friday night after Grace Agenda.
There you go.
Nice.
That was the other.
It's kind of bring your own drink, bring your own cigar, bring something to munch on, because I don't know who else is coming, so just kind of bring your own thing and share a little love, and we'll have a great time.
Friday-
Making some food?
Friday night.
Friday. I mean, I'll have food there, but I just
After
don't know how
party.
many people are coming.
Since we don't want to dox the water boy, if you'd
Yes.
like Gabe's address,
That's
you can
right.
email contact@fightlaughfeast.com. That's contact@fightlaughfeast.com. Find out where Gabe, the water boy,
Lives.
lives and ask for his address. And even if you're not coming and you want to dox him, you could write it and just see if you get his address out of
Put
it.
it on social media.
Yeah, right.
you can still dox me.
Sorry, Andy. Sorry.
Hey, what's black pilling?
I
I just wondered if y'all knew.
So here's basically black
was
pilling.
going to ask Nate.
Okay.
Well, you want me to summarize?
Yeah,
You want
go
me to
ahead. Summarize it.
So black pilling, I think basically what you're doing is you're seeing a lot of this trend of leftists or people kind of who generally identified with going left, liberal, kind of became conservative, and then didn't like the whole conservative thing and went black pill and said screw it all.
So red
Nihilism.
red pill
Yeah.
is the first step.
Blue to red to black.
Okay.
That's there's more to it, but that's
So blue pill, red pill, that comes from Matrix.
and there's some red pill who never were blue pill and just went black. But I mean,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I think there's actually also a bunch of conservatives that are despairing.
And they're like, oh, forget it.
They're well, I think this is the play. I mean, I think ironically, it's actually they're buying into the left's move. I mean, like you go certain far enough away from the left, and you actually come back around and
To
you
end up
join
being the left.
You join them on the. I mean, it's like what's the difference between fascists and communists? Nothing.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I mean, that's.
I like when you said nothing. Those chimes.
Yeah.
came in.
Yeah.
That was-
It's like, ding.
What's the difference between communists and
actually,
fascists?
that's what happens in my head when I
Nothing.
get it.
Where to go? Where to go?
Yeah.
Come on.
I already got it. Once I get it, I don't need to chime again.
But I think that's what happens too. Is I think though part of the play of leftism is to get people pissed,
Yeah. And bitter.
angry,
Yeah.
Yep.
angst. That's the whole. That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
It's
Reactionary.
It's envy, angst, jealousy, bitterness,
Yeah.
rage, and one side you go left with rage and envy and angst by hating traditional values, hating marriage, hating men, hating whatever, and that goes one way, and that's the LGBT socialism, whatever.
Yeah.
And it wants the government to fix everything, all the rest. But on the right, I think some people now they hate women. Hate marriage, hate whatever, and you're going back the other side, but it's bitterness. Black pilling, I think, is bitterness against patience with the way God does things in this world. Honoring His work, His word, His process.
Right.
That's why
It's kind of like when you're on the basketball court and you've been talking trash with your opponent all game, and he finally gets pissed and ticked, and he totally gets him out of his element and out of his game, and you end up kind of winning just by the very fact you got him emotionally exacerbated. You let it get to you.
Right.
That's the black pill.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's funny, as you were talking about, all I could think about was how, we've just kind of recently understood critical theory, but that's the move. That's all critical theory does, is it just picks at something enough until you get upset.
You're
about
racist.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
racist. You're
absolutely.
racist. You're and finally someone says, "Fine,
Yeah,
fine,
whatever.
I'm racist.
I don't care.
White boy summer.
Yeah, right.
And I think this also kind of plays into our current moment right now. Part of I start off the show. Are you voting for Trump? Or are you voting for DeSantis? Or who's the Vivek guy kind of thing? And I think I actually don't know what I'm going to do right now. I want to. The only reason why I want to vote for Trump right now is because he's getting attacked by the FBI, the DOJ, and Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want him to win because I want him to go and fight them. It's like kind of get back
But
on that
will
horse.
he, though?
That's part of my question.
Yeah.
He started Operation Warp Speed, which is what the Biden administration used to fire a bunch of people.
It feels like they think that he would.
He appointed the current FBI director right now.
Yeah, why do they hate him so much?
Yeah.
Right. Why do they hate him so much? I want to know through all that. But at the same time, DeSantis, like he's kind of cozied up to Dave Rubin and the LGBT crowd. Like I like DeSantis. I think if I had it today, I'd vote for DeSantis.
You think he's cozied up just because he's connecting, because he went on tour with Dave Rubin? You think that's cozying up?
Well, and you send Dave Rubin a onesie, congratulating him
that's a
for
problem.
It's a problem. And then, but also, like the primaries are next winter, basically. February, March through May.
And in
June.
Idaho, that's winter.
That's not true.
Well,
The primaries
our
are
primary is
now.
actually going to be in March this year,
Which is winter
which
time.
is pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my fault. But what I don't want Christians to do is to get to the primaries and start to see who's percolating to the top and say, well, I guess this is who we're going to have to vote for because they got all the momentum and all that stuff. I want to figure out as Christians now how we could be leading and influencing the current direction the conservative movement is going regarding Trump or DeSantis. I want us to be able to have a leadership role in how we influence the election instead of just kind of accepting what we're going to get in the primaries. Most.
Are you asking too much, Gabe?
I mean, yeah. I think I do
Are
think.
you asking too much?
Well, I mean, obviously the church is splintered in all sorts of ways regarding politics and how to be thinking about politics. But I think what we need to be doing as Christians is be challenging ourselves how to be leaders in our current situation. I mean, this is, you got the. I was actually Doug made this point on his blog earlier today. I just happened to be kind of thinking about the same topic in some sense. Doug asked the question. I don't even know. Doug hadn't even kind of landed on what he's going to be voting for, who he's going to be supporting. But Doug kind of goes through the process. What if election fraud? Let's say DeSantis wins in the primaries and loses to Biden, and election fraud happens, and DeSantis says, "Wait a second," and starts trying to sue and starts trying to do all the legal remedies and everything.
No, they won't do that.
What does he look like?
Well, no, they won't do that because they've already said you can't play this game.
That's right.
Right. They've already said this is a move that
that's
we've
what they've
moved
been
from
trying
the table.
That's right.
And so you can't play that anymore. Otherwise, you're going to get 3 indictments on you. Okay. And we're going to come for all your friends, and we're going to try and throw the kitchen sink at you. So everybody knows that they can't play that move anymore.
But even
unless you're willing to be Trump, unless you're willing to just say, I don't care.
He's already all the way in it, so he doesn't have any choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He would have to.
I don't think if Trump knew it was going to go this way, I don't think he would have played the same hand.
You think?
No, I don't think he would have played the same hand.
Which part? The election fraud or
January 6th or
I think the whole election thing, I think he would have played a different hand and just said, okay, I'm going to take my L on the election and I'm just going to go back and get ready for the next 4 years to run again. But I think he really thought that they would play a certain type of game against him and he wouldn't have to fight like
what
this.
Game did you think they were going to play?
I think he thought that there wasn't going to be these type of indictments rolling down. I think he thought the idea that they would come after him personally. I don't think he thought through all of this, that the lawyer stuff would fall apart legally. I don't think he had good. One of the things we keep hearing about Trump is that he did not have people in his corner who were either going to really stick there with him and follow through. Some of the legal stuff, all the legal stuff has fell apart. All of it. It's just a mess over there. There's only one thing that I don't think anybody's really tried to, and we had him here in the studio, Greg Phillips and
2,000 Mules.
Yeah, 2,000. Nobody has really tried that case yet. And I think this one happening in Georgia is going to actually have to look at that evidence and say whether or not this is legitimate.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that's left, but everything else has failed. And I don't think he thought he would have to go this far to do this much to be able to get the nomination again or even to be president again. Right. And I think if he thought through it again, he'd be like, you know what? The election stolen thing, not my thing. I'm going to find a different trajectory because the way that they've come after Trump is unprecedented. And you can't plan for this type of assault. And I don't think that he thought that he would be having this type of assault, to the point that even financially he's being drained. I mean, everybody is against him. It's Trump contra mundum right now, right?
Department of Justice, Manhattan, in New York, Georgia, D.C.
And half of the Republican Party is saying, hey, let's not have this guy back. Because and it's not because they just hate Trump. Some of them do. But they know if Trump actually wins the Republican nomination, they're going to have to get behind him.
And they're going to have to.
And that's what they really hate.
That's right.
They hate the fact that, oh man, if Trump wins the nomination, I have to get behind him and defend him once again or support him once again. Let's not have that.
But this is why I want to have this conversation, is because I want us to be able to, maybe influence or help the church to be part of influencing what direction we go.
Nobody likes the stuff that I'm thinking about.
Pardon me?
Stuff I'm thinking about is not fun and it's not sexy and it doesn't answer the immediate problem. Well, I think it does, but look, if you look at everything that's happening right now in American culture, we are 20 to 25 years from taking it all. And it doesn't matter.
What do you mean by that?
It doesn't matter.
Who's we? We
Christians,
are 25.
Christians.
Okay. We're 25 years
20 to 25 years out.
From taking it all?
From taking it all. Like, absolutely.
Woo, that's a tight prediction.
Well, it's not hard to assume when you look at who's having kids, if they can keep them. There's some caveats here.
Yeah.
But when you look at the culture right now,
they're killing themselves.
They are cutting themselves into pieces, removing their ability to reproduce, absolutely avoiding logic in every way you possibly can. They are shutting down any opposition to speak publicly. And even the pagans are like, I don't like these groups. Now, there's groups out there, maybe we'll get to in a second, who are like silently going with it. But that's the silent majority that nobody is talking about. And you think about all the people out there who've been forced to bend the knee. I was watching, what was the guy from New York Undercover TV show? Malik Yoba. Remember y'all? Oh my goodness, and for real? Oh wow. Okay, so there was an actor, black guy. He was in New York. Anyway, he was on the morning show in New York, and he was bending the knee so much to the, how do you say, non-birthing women, and he's trying to follow all their language and logic and talk about it, and they just like emasculated him publicly. That's not going to stand very long. Yeah. All right. So you got the secular view of that, the secular people out there who are like, I don't like this. These are bad priests, right? Mm-hmm. There's no forgiveness. You can't make it back. Then you have another group who are having kids, starting schools, fighting the government on whether or not worship should be allowed on Sunday mornings in the middle of a pandemic, right? Christians going to jails, fighting to establish some laws for freedom of speech that we thought were collapsing. And then you have this other group who is pushing education to the all the way out to other nations from America. So you got missionary work going on from the Baptists that are doing great nationally. We can talk about that, what great means. But then you have this group who is pushing education. And that generation, if they can keep their kids in 20 to 25 years at the rate that we're going, they won't even have people to run for office, right? You know, to be able to make a cohesive. Look, they're putting up old folks that are 90. One of the ways you always know that a battle is being lost on the other side is when you see the old folks coming out there and.
Well, we got Trump. We got Trump too. He's old.
Right, but look who we got down the pike though.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of guys on our side younger who can come through. Yeah. They got one person, Newsom. Ain't nobody excited about Newsom. Nobody, not even their own people. Kamala's who they got? No, I ain't like Kamala. No. None of them do. Yeah. So they're already losing. It's just a matter of time before it all collapses. And so, I think we're transitioning from one stage to the other. I don't think we can do anything about our current selections for president and whether or not, I think that if we focus our attention more on our homes and say, okay, I got a 19-year-old right now. All right, I got a 15-year-old right now. I got a 10-year-old right now. I got these kids. How can I pour into them in such a way that they know how to treat God's creation properly? They know how to have kids. They know how to get married. They know how to read. They know how to be literate. They know how to defend so that they are the people who are in our local governments defending us, lawyers, city council members, Congress people, president. It goes up. And I think our trajectory, if you're going to look at the trajectory, is like who they got coming up the ranks? Nobody. They don't have anybody coming up the ranks. Who do we got? Have you looked at? I've seen y'all's kids. I feel pretty good about the future. You know what I'm saying? I've seen ACCS is going up everywhere. Yeah. I've seen after COVID, there was all of a sudden people start gathering around schools. They start gathering around churches. Everybody moved. The great separation, right? Everybody moved and start finding where can we fight well from? What does that produce? We don't even know what that produce. 20, 25 years from now, it's a game over. The only thing we have to do is be faithful. And I think that's part of our problem right now. It's like, okay, we're looking at the presidents. How do we, I totally want to think about this rightly, but I think we need to think about it. How do we take good historical notes so that we hand our kids these notes and say, this is where we screwed up. This is what Paul, this is what Moses did in Numbers and in Deuteronomy. Hey man, y'all were faithless. This is where you screwed up at. Y'all didn't trust the Lord to take giants. And he goes on to tell them, he's like, look, they were bigger than you. They were greater than you. They had more numbers than you. They had more numbers than you are. And yet God had given them to you, but you didn't take them. Like, right? Like, and we're at this place now where sure, we might not have a massive amount of numbers, but in all the places where we have faithfulness, that's where we'll have victory. Yeah. So I don't feel too pressed about the current election because I think I'm around a group of people who are being faithful and raising their kids in such a way that when I look 20 to 25 years out to covenant faithfulness, I'm saying, man, we're going to have it. Like we're going to have it. We're actually inside of Christendom, regardless of how you think about the fights, we're fighting about masculinity. What does it look like? They don't even know what a man is. Yeah. I'll take our fights. So when I look at our fights, look at our fights in our own Christian cultures. Like these are horrible and I hate them, but they're iron sharpening iron. We don't see the sparks that it's making. That we're all going the same direction, trying to figure out what does man look like in a culture so that they can defend women? What do women really look like? And we're arguing about those details because we're building those people up who will inherit the kingdom. And so, again, I when I look at all this stuff, I'm like, I'm not really fretting about it. What I'm fretting about is, man, am I going to the Lord's place every Sunday and hear the word of God wash me and cleanse me so that I love my wife right? Am I loving my neighbor properly? Those are the things that I'm worried about. Am I making myself such a way that I can help my kids get Christian capital or capital to build something? What are we building? I'm more concerned about what we're doing in our own homes, in our own families, and in relationships than I am about which president is going to be, because it doesn't matter. We got the presidents we deserve right now.
Yeah, but I think that
and the options we
I
deserve.
agree with what you're saying about the long term, 2040, basically looking ahead to 2040. We like we've been saying about COVID. Don't forget.
Yeah.
In the same way, we should be saying that about like God's word and how He's already showed us what deliverance looks like in the Old Testament. Like, don't forget. Don't be rebellious. Don't repeat. Don't go back to idolatry. When Daddy Knox passes away, don't leave the faith, children. Right.
Right.
But I still think we need to wrestle with this.
Great grandchildren. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. You want them herbs and tea and all that. You can live a long time. But I still want to be able to like tackle these questions that are currently facing us right now.
But I think you're not,
because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, here's another thought.
you're not going to change this.
Yeah, I agree with
Both of us.
No, I agree with Knox.
Stupid.
I mean, the Republican Party is not. The Republican Party is lost.
But
They're done.
My daughter, when she was young, and we'd tell her, "You can't have that." She'd whisper, "No, fair." Then we're like, "Did she really just say that?"
And then she got a space.
And it was like, "No, yeah, but we took care of it." But anyways, go ahead.
That's how you win, though. That's how you win.
And I also want to bring something else up that Knox also taught me. So I agree with you twice, but I'm going to have you maybe just push back slightly against you.
Okay. I don't like that.
Actually, I think he agrees completely. But I think the one thing that I think that Knox has been pushing on us a lot that I think is a really good point, and I think is something that we can do more of now, which I don't think is actually going to change a lot practically immediately, but that is the power and the potency of media.
Amen. No, that's right.
And so here's the thing. I think God has, I think, Knox, you're spot on. Just do the numbers, do the math, keep your kids, keep your marriage.
Be faithful, man.
And I don't people just, I think we need to get the fact that is the plan. That's the plan. Like the mission plan to take over the world is love your wife, be faithful to her till you die, be faithful to all the kids she gives you, provide for them, leave them inheritance. Like that's the plan. Like if we do that faithfully, we inherit the land. Right? That's just facts. And the only way we do that is that you're worshiping God every Lord's Day. Worship is central, family is central, Christian education is central.
Promise of the fifth commandment, right?
It's right there. It will go well with you in the land. But I also think that maybe one practical thing that we can be doing right now is God has given us these massive tools right here in a pocket of our hand. In our pocket of our hand. That's like a Gabeism.
It's so good.
In the pocket of our hand.
There's pockets in there, I guess.
Put your TV on the hand.
Man, I'm hanging out with Gabe too much.
We all are.
He's given us this tool where we have the world at our fingertips, and we have the ability to shape the story, which is what good media does. And it shapes it honestly. This is not a postmodern power play of twisting stories to make them be whatever we want. No, this is telling the truth, but telling the truth loudly, telling the truth with sharp edges. And I think what we've seen a bit is in the explosion of the internet and the explosion of social media and the explosion of the iPhone and the explosion of Twitter and all these things. I think this is another piece of the story where I think their empire is crumbling.
Yeah.
Which
is why they're grasping so hard.
The videos going around of, these inner city stores getting looted
Yeah.
And everybody just standing around, and the cops standing around, and they're just looting the stores. Whatever, like, the burning down cities, and the guys there. It's mostly peaceful protests, and it's the police station's burning in the background. It's like it's a joke now. The COVID truth. Despite all their attempts to censor, despite all their attempts to work with, collaborate with social media to censor free speech, people hate that. People are going I mean, Elon Musk, for all his problems, is saying, "Hey guys, if you got censored at work for using my platform,
we will help you.
We will help you. No limits."
That is a massive.
And he said, "We'll even go and sue your board."
Yes.
That's a massive game changer. Though.
Game changer. Yeah. And I think it's the tip of the iceberg. I think it's going. And then the last thing I'll point to, we've talked to talk about a little bit on the show, is Tucker. With some caveats and some concerns that we've raised, I would say has been a fearless leader in terms of media.
Yeah.
In terms of asking the questions that no one will ask, pursuing the story that no one will pursue, getting the Twitter files, all those kind of things. Like, we need a host of men in particular, but men and women, to follow in that wake. Ask the hard questions, do the interviews. And I would say, to your point, Gabe, is I think the thing that we can do right now for this next cycle, I don't think we can do a lot, but I think the thing we can do right now is ask the hard questions. Make them speak into the microphone clearly. The legacy media for so long has these canned questions that nobody gives a damn about.
That's right.
Like nobody cares. Like when CNN asks a question, nobody cares. They're going to give you a canned answer. It's political speech. And that's why everybody tunes out. And they're like, what the heck? And then Trump's the only one out there who's be like, hey, I actually had another thought about something else. And he's going to go off on something. And people are like, whoa, he's just really he's like just saying what he thinks. But I think what we need is an army of journalists. An army of journalists, and you can do it right now. Which says, what I want to know is, why the hell did DeSantis send a onesie to Dave Rubin?
That's right. That's right.
That's what I want asked right now. And I want a journalist with a microphone, and I want an iPhone on it. And I want it to go viral. Why the hell did you send that homosexual groomer and his sodomite lover a onesie? That's what I want to know right now. And I want a microphone in his mouth, and I want a camera on it. And I want it to go viral.
If morals matter, why is he even touring with you?
And I want the same thing with Trump. Why have you not backed down about warp speed? Why have you not apologized about Fauci? I think you can put I think we can put mics in their faces, cameras in their faces, and anybody can do it.
And the reason why people are so scared about this, especially like Trump or DeSantis or people were freaking out. I guarantee Asa Hutchinson's was freaking out about Tucker's questions.
Right. The staff was, if nobody else was.
Tim Scott
he wet his pants right there on the stage. 100%. We all saw it.
Mike Pence, VP Mike Pence. They don't like it because it like gets to light. Actually, it brings things into the light.
That's what I'm saying.
And it shows the Republican Party doesn't really care about the light. They care about power just as much as the Democratic Party does.
That's exactly right. But I think that's what we can do. I think we can ask hard questions, ask real questions right now. And I think, people have been raising concerns about Vivek, because, he apparently, because of, some people are saying he changes his mind about a lot of things. He's flip-flopped on issues. I don't know. Maybe it has to do because of his belief in reincarnation. Maybe he's reincarnating his
ideas are reincarnating themselves. They come back as something.
I'm a count.
But I think somebody needs to press him and say, like, we're a Christian nation. And why should we vote for a Hindu?
Right.
You believe that we're in the same food chain as the cows and dung beetles, right? Like, somebody needs to ask that question, which is, of course, completely politically incorrect to ask. But you need to say, no, we believe that ideas have consequences. What you believe in your heart is what you will do out in public.
That's right.
So why should a Christian nation, which is what America is, why should we vote for a Hindu? Who thinks that we are reincarnated from, everything else in the world?
I mean, how do we know he's not reincarnated Trump?
We don't. Well, Trump's still here. That's kind of, he could be.
I don't know.
John
Trump's
Trump.
dad. Trump's dad.
Yeah, there we go. One of the things that we say, we've talked about on the show a lot, and I don't think we've said it in a while, but especially when it comes to issues where I feel like are past our ability to get our hands on. And presidential elections feel like that. At least they have in the last election, last two actually. it seemed like God gave us a blessing with Trump, left-handed blessing. We didn't even know it was coming.
Right.
And then in 2020,
It did Roe v. Wade.
yeah,
You know.
in 2020 has just kind of been like, what is going on? This is bizarre. Like, what is even? I can't even wrap my hand around truth, false, whatever it is. And then when I start seeing stuff like that, Pastor, I was just thinking about how, what is it that is in my circle that I have authority over?
Right.
And how do I exercise that authority outward?
That's right.
And then I start
That's
close
exactly right.
self-government,
Yep.
and then I start moving outwards. Okay, we can do this, we can do that. Well, I have a cell phone, so I have a huge reach of authority with this. Wow, you know what I mean? So we can ask those. Everything is based on where you're at. So start center first where you're at and say, Lord, help me to be faithful here, and then work outward from there. And then if it grows to the place where you get a chance to support a person for president, you get to interview them and talk to them. Yeah, there we go. But you did it from faithfulness from the local place, right? From where you're at, from where you can actually touch first.
Olive Tree Biblical Software. Discover why more than 1 million people use free Olive Tree Bible app as their go-to for reading, studying, and listening to God's Word. Start by downloading one of many free Bibles. Start taking notes, highlighting verses, and bookmarking your favorite passages. You can read at your own pace or choose from a large selection of reading plans, including the Bible Reading Challenge, which originated here in Moscow. When you're ready to go deeper into your studies, Olive Tree is right there with a large selection of study Bibles, commentaries, and other helpful study resources available for purchase. There's also an extensive bookstore, which allows you to build your digital library one book at a time. And Olive Tree's Sync technology lets you pick up where you left off on your tablet, PC, or phone and get right back to studying on another supported device. Here's the best part. You can start with the Olive Tree Essentials Bundle for free today. Go to olivetree.com/FLF. That's olivetree.com/FLF and download it today.
I get goosebumps every time I hear the word free. It's so nice. Free. Get it. If you're single, get married. If you're married, have you some kids. And if you have kids, go baptize them. Until tomorrow, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is Cross Politic.
I hope my son is gay.
And I hope that Jesus forgives him just like he does the rest of us.
Doug Wilson, Moscow minister and columnist with the Idahonian Daily News.
The question that confronts us is, what does it mean in a disobedient culture to be prophetic?
There be a place for same-sex couples,
No marriage.
even though it's the law of the land in the United States?
Just like Roe used to be. We want to turn the world upside down, and you don't turn the world upside down by being nice.
I believe that we are in this polytheistic, pluralistic moment, and the desperate need of the hour is for our Christian leadership to say, Jesus is Lord and there is no other.
Fear no man.